Facilities Planning meeting. Is tech ready? Can everybody silence their phones, please?
It's a good idea.
Okay. Okay, I call the Committee on Facilities Planning and Management to order. We will take up the following items for approval. Action items. Action item 1A is the approval of the minutes of the June 3rd, 2024 meeting. I move the approval of action items, item 1A. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Michael. Any discussion? Questions? Comments? Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. I would now like to address the policy calendar. Policy item 1B is a resolution to authorize renovation of the HVAC system at Voorhees Hall at New York City College of Technology, 186 J Street, Brooklyn. I now call on Vice Chancellor Mohammed Ataya to provide further background on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The HVAC renovation project will continue with the critical infrastructure upgrades necessary to keep the building functioning in a state of good repair and energy efficient. The primary focus of this project is the replacement of the 4 main air handling units in the penthouse and the replacement of rooftop air handling units. The system replacement project construction managed by DASNY is anticipated to commence as soon as possible and be substantially completed by October 15, 2026. The program management agreement with DASNY requires DASNY to comply with and report on the applicable MWBE and STVOP goals. Thank you.
Thank you. I move the approval of policy item 1B1. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Questions? Concerns? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Policy item 1B2 is a resolution to authorize the renovation of the second floor library renovation project at Hunter College. I now call on Vice Chancellor Mohammed Ataya to provide further background on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The project will continue an overall floor-by-floor upgrade of the entire library. The library is a heavily used space of the campus and needs to meet the current requests of the academic community as library services and functions have evolved. The scope of work will focus on providing new spaces for students and faculty with technology infrastructure, closets, student seating areas, study rooms, administrative areas, upgrading bathrooms, new HVAC systems, electrical and life safety systems, security systems, and upgrades to sprinkler and plumbing system. The project will bring the second floor library approximately about 15,000 square feet into a state of good repair. Construction is managed by CUCF and is anticipated to commence in October 2024 and be substantially completed by August 2025. The Hunter College Foundation is providing funding for this project for a total amount of about $11.7 million, and the New York State has appropriated capital to CUCF, where CUCF is funding $3.5 million. CUCF will comply with and report on the applicable MWBE and SDVUP goals. Thank you.
Thank you. I move the approval of policy item 1B2. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Michael. Any discussion, questions, concerns? Please, Cynthia.
I just wanted to ask if the librarians were actually involved in were they consulted in terms of the design, the renovation?
Yeah, the process, this project, as I explained, is multi-year development of the library, and all stakeholders, including the library, the administration, the students, were part of the development of that space. So the short answer is yes.
Okay. Are you satisfied, Cynthia, with that?
I had gotten
We heard
feedback that they were not, that the librarians were not actually part of the decision-making process, so.
Well, we'll
I'm
have
not
an
quite sure
opportunity.
exactly what happened, but we had heard that it was, they were not part of it.
We could circle back as we proceed with the project and see if anything is needed. But
Okay. Very good. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any abstentions?
I'm in favor of, but.
You are in
yeah.
favor, okay. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. Okay, policy item 1B3 is a resolution to authorize construction of the medical lab and science program at Hunter College main campus to accommodate decanting programs from the Brookdale campus. I now call on Vice Chancellor Mohammed Atalia to provide further background on this.
thank you, Mr. Chair. The Medical Lab and Science Program construction project will fill the need for the spaces that will be decanted from the Brookdale campus to the main campus at Hunter College. The primary focus of construction at the main campus is the creation of chemistry and biology labs and the entire medical lab sciences program, including laboratories, offices, associated classroom space, and the physical therapy department. In addition, there is a need to relocate consolidated spaces for researchers currently using the proposed spaces in the north building. The construction is anticipated to commence in November 2024 and be substantially completed by August 2025. The university will require the contractors to report on and comply with MWB utilization of 30% or higher. Thank you.
Okay, I move the approval of policy item 1B3. Do I have a second? Thank you, Michael. Any discussion? Yes.
Yeah, question, Mohammed, I see that both of these Hunter College programs, projects, you've engaged the same construction company, the Lero Hill. I just was wondering if was there cost savings or any efficiencies or any particular reason for having, or benefits that we've received from having the same company doing both projects?
It actually goes through a competitive bidding and evaluation process, so they were not just chosen because of their
So it's an
capacity.
RFP?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just coincidental that it's both
Yeah, we
They
go
were
through
the
a
best-
task order
the
process.
best bidder
and-
for both projects?
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Policy item 1B4 is a resolution to authorize a lease amendment for the payment of property taxes at 64-19 Cassandra Boulevard, Queens, for Queens College. I now call on Vice Chancellor Mohammed Atalia to provide further background on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On May 20th, 2024, the board authorized a lease amendment with CUNY paying a prorated share of property taxes. Prior to the execution, the landlord of the property required CUNY to pay the full share of taxes as it was a sole tenant and to be consistent with the market practices. The lease amendment was signed with the landlord's right to terminate if the taxes were not authorized to be paid. This request was a material change subsequent to the board's authorization of the lease amendment amount, and an authorization of the new amount is now required. The site at Casino Hall is needed by Queens College to continue to offer programs that benefit participants of the Continuing Education and Workforce Development Division. CUNY has also decided to proceed with a 2-year lease only to explore options of consolidating some or all the uses onto Queens College main campus. Over the term of the lease amendment, payments will be made in the aggregate amount of approximately $2.7 million, and any subsequent material changes to the terms and conditions of this agreement shall be submitted for board approval. Thank you.
So this is a 2-year lease amendment, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I guess right now we're paying, before this amendment, we were paying all the taxes, is that correct?
We were paying prorated amount, but in the amendment now, in the amendment, because we are the sole tenant of the whole building, and as
Okay.
per all other process, we,
Or assuming all the taxes, because we assumed all the space.
correct.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I move the approval of policy item 1B4. Do I have a second? Thank you. Any discussion, questions? Yes, please.
I just have a question.
No, absolutely.
This is it's a big jump. I'm just, are we going to see any consequences within that space as far as the, money that's being invested there or the service that can be provided to make up for the increase payment?
The increase,
So the taxes, payments were based on a base year, and the landlord, I guess, didn't realize that that was the deal they had agreed to. They thought it was going to be paid fully by CUNY. So they would not agree to move ahead unless it was full triple net, which is not unusual because we have occupancy of the entire building, including the parking lot.
Yeah, no, and I understand, and I'm just wondering on behalf of the Queens College and the people who use that facility, I mean, is there going to be, how are we going to make that up? Are we going to see any consequences of this increased expenditure in the services, the maintenance, anything at the facility itself, or at the college, or wherever?
I don't think anyone's here to speak to the
Yeah.
programmatic changes.
Yeah, the college has to respond to that.
You can submit that question to the president,
the
Frank.
president.
We have the space, that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but this is just a real estate.
Okay, thank you.
And
But we'll share with Frank so he could respond to
I
the committee.
appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll have a response to the committee. We'll send a response to the committee
Okay.
and share it.
Thanks, I
Absolutely, it's appropriate.
appreciate it.
Do you want to clarify that? No, you're good. Okay.
So Joan, we go back there. Get that.
Okay, anybody else have any questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. With no more items on the policy calendar, we will move to information items. There's one information item on the agenda. Information item 2A is regarding the City University Construction Fund signing a project labor agreement with New York City Building and Construction Trades Council. I now call on Vice Chancellor Mohammed Atalia to provide further background on this item.
thank you, Mr. Chair. We're pleased to share the information that on September 22nd, 2024, the City University Construction Fund executed a project labor agreement, otherwise known as a PLA, with the New York City Building and Construction Trades Council and signatory local unions. PLA is a pre-hire collective bargaining agreement with one or more labor unions that establishes the terms and conditions of employment for a specific construction project. PLAs are used on both public and private projects and can set the employment standards, wages, MWBE standards, work rules, dispute resolutions, mechanism, and other terms before the construction begins. Some of the benefits to CUCF and the university is achieving the most cost-effective means of construction, including direct labor cost savings and modifying other work and pay practices which would otherwise apply to the project. Also, standardizing the terms and conditions governing the employment of labor on projects. In addition, complying with the goals established under Articles 15A and 17B of the executive law of the project work for fostering increased participation by minority and women-owned business enterprises, MWBEs, and service disabled veterans-owned businesses, SDVOPs. CUCF PLA will provide for the efficient, safe, quality, and timely completion of construction projects in a manner designated to afford the lowest cost to CUCF while advancing other critical objectives towards FPCM's strategic plan. I should add that, Mr. Chair, in the past CUCF and the university were relying on DASNY's PLA in executing the work by DASNY. When now CUNY has its own PLA, this will further strengthen CUNY's ability to manage its own projects. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Yes, please.
More of a comment than a question. I just want to, the Chancellor and your whole team, I just want to commend you guys on making sure that not only are the MWBEs and the Veterans Organization represented on this, but also skilled and safe labor. It's going to end up seeing cost savings in the distance instead of cost overruns. I just want to appreciate that, and Mark CUNY is one of the leaders in this, so thank you.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add? Okay, with no more items on the agenda, I move to adjourn this meeting. Do I have a second? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Frank.